Hello, Prophets, and welcome to another episode of Technical Analysis by the Crypto Prophet. Let's start off with the Dow Jones Industrial Average Index, the daily time chart. Let's check out the daily candles here, just to give you a reference. This was the end of February crash for the coronavirus. We've been coming up ever since. We've had a couple of dips in between, dip. Now, right here with these vertical lines, I predicted these next following pink Mondays: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 for the future dips. So back here, I predicted this little red dip. I predicted this dip here. I predicted this dip here, and look where we are. Let's see what happens in the next couple of days. We're actually having a red candle there. So we could be coming down, which means Bitcoin's most likely coming down. The next predicted ones are 4, which I predicted actually just last March 4th, a few weeks ago, for June 22nd and July 28th. Let's look at the market cipher and see what the daily's doing. Stochastics are kind of pointing down. Money flow is starting to leave the Dow Jones Industrial. What does that mean for Bitcoin? Well, Bitcoin pretty much follows the Dow. Let's go to a very, very big macro scale here. Here's Bitcoin. Okay, that big run up a year ago, April, and last November run up to 70,000. Here's where we are today. Now I've got a few options here. Option 1. We're going to dump down. We dumped down all the way this summer. Down. We're coming up. Now we get a big lift off next January 2023. And we lift all the way up to this all-time high, probably right about 146, to where we have a massive sell-off, massive corrections, keep come lower. However, we're going to keep trying to push up more and more and more. As you can see, November 23rd, but we don't hit an all-time high until October 28th of 2024. Option 2 is we come up a little bit more and we burn out and die off, and we don't come up and have another all-time high until that same date, October 28th, 2024. We're going to be at around 75,000. Option 2 is that we follow this line and we come up to an all-time, well, not quite an all-time high here, but we do come up back up to 65, August of 2023, back down, and then we repeat this all-time high here for 74,000, October 28th, 2024. Which option looks better? Well, you can trade the whole way around if you're a leverage trader, but if you're a holder, obviously option 1 looks better. That would be what the macro scale looks like. If you give you a vantage point forward, here's the point of control right here. Here's where Bitcoin was December 2017 when you had that big run up to 20,000, and Bitcoin did not break that all-time high again for 20,000 until December of 2020. So that took 3 years, 1,092 days to break the all-time high. So if we take that last time it broke the all-time high, it would actually be coming from here, because now the all-time high was right here for this middle of November last year. We'd extend that out to about the same amount of time, and we would get that number there. So let's look at the Gaussian channel here. Very, very important, because we want to look at, well, let's first look at where we are now in the Gaussian channel. Okay, here we are. This is a 5-day chart, so each candle is 5 days. All right, keep up with me, people. Now, we're way down in the muck. This is the quicksand. We dipped below the middle of the Gaussian channel. We were able to get back to the top, rejected, but then we shot up through. This was last November when we went up to a new all-time high of 69, blah, blah, blah. Boom, big sell-off. Let's take off this Lux algo. Don't even use it. Big sell-off here. And now we have dropped below to the bottom of the channel. We became out of it. Okay, let's look back in history last time this happened. Okay, we're still on the blue hash dot here. But when you really dump is when you start seeing these gray ones pop up, which we haven't seen at all yet. But let's give you just the candles. Let's look back in history. Let's go back in time. Now, we haven't had this red area yet, but check out what happens before you have it. As soon as you dump underneath, you do come back up. Now, let's give you a reference point here. As soon as we go from the lowest point and start to get out of it, 135 days, not too long. But as soon as we drop down, we are riding low for a while. Same with over here. We drop below the half point mark. As soon as we drop underneath, we do have additional candles that we ride down for a long while after it hits bottom. So it hit bottom around here, another 155 days. So let's kind of put that in reference point to where we are now. So we did dip below underneath the Gaussian channel here. So if we're bounding around down here, and we go another 100, let's just say 150 days, we're looking at June of this year, that we might be able to get back out of here. 1 second. We might be able to get back out of this muck. So we're going to bound down and kind of go sideways all the way to that June, and we can start to move up and get out of here. Maybe we're moving up sooner. And we're up here as the Gaussian channel probably started to come down. And we get up here in that June, and we're bounding around. We're trying to get back up. Look at the price, 60K. Okay, that's an option for this summer. So, somebody changed my color on that. Let's check out some other charts here. Okay, wedge action, right? So we pattern traders, we go on stochastic RSIs are big, but here we are in the daily. We got money flow is huge. As you can see, money flow was in the red, and since December of last year, it crossed into the red. Money left Bitcoin huge, big time. People were selling off beginning of this year. Holy cow! Then look, boom. March 18th. March 18th, a week ago, money started flowing into Bitcoin big time, which means what? Which looks like we're going to come up, which means we have. Now, we did have this this wedge here, and we popped up out of it, and we're heading up. We blasted through that 42 mark. 42,000 was huge. Let's see what other charts here we got for you guys. Yeah, again, let me get that same chart. There's a CME chart. We don't have any gaps fill. Check out this parallel wedge right now. Again, this is the daily chart, right? Each candle's a day. Here was last April. This was this past November. Here's where we are right now. Now we're in this wedge. Let's zoom in on this daily wedge. Very important wedge right here. Let's zoom in on this, and let's say that we're at a precipice here where usually these wedge patterns play out. Now let's look here. Money flow's coming up. That doesn't mean it can't turn real quickly. Look at how fast that turned and dumped. Let's go back to when that actually happened and take a look at when this turned and dumped, and look what happened in the charts. Big dump and mass sell-off. So that could happen here, although we got to say, well, let's give the two options. We're coming up here. We could get rejected. We could try again. We come out, and we want to land here and then go up from there and test that 45, 46, 47,000 mark. If we can get above 47,000, then we can probably say the bull run's back in motion. However, we get rejected here. Maybe we do a fake out and then come through and dump down here. We're ranging back down here in that 37, 38 mark, and we're still in this green Gaussian muck right here for a while. That 100, and we need to get to that June point, mid-June, right, to get out of that muck. Find that chart again. So that's us. We're still in this parallel wedge, which is a good thing because it's a bullish pattern. Now, money flow looks good on the daily. We have a chart there. Let's see what else we got. Again, you can see this wedge. We had a W pattern. We showed this the other day on the episode, and we had a nice cup and handle. Usually bullish. Now, the target for this W and cup and handle would be 47,000. So, we have that resistance, 46,747. We've got this other narrowing horizontal wedge that's happening here. So we're inside of that as well. Let's find, here we go. Here's a nice wedge here. So, daily chart, Bitcoin index. So we are, let's give you a time reference, beginning of the year. This is all this year of 2022. The whole year of 2022. Down, up, down, up, down, up. So we're playing out like this. Now, we could like this, or down, up, down, fake out, and dump. Okay? This purple zone is a lot of action and trading within that purple zone. It's where we are now. We're at the top of it. See? And then we were rejected today on top of that purple zone. And we're down now at the very, very top of it. So obviously, I mean, we could, obviously it looks all different ways, right? So, we're trying to do technical analysis so we can come to a conclusion about what the price action is going to do. Let's look at stochastic RSIs. Oh, that's oil. Here's Luna. Now this broke down, but it was a fake out of that daily wedge, and the target would have been down here at 61. We did make some money on that short, but boom, it pumped up after that. Obviously it follows Bitcoin because Bitcoin pumped up. Let's see here. This is a bit of a messier chart with all these purple levels. These are all levels going back. September 29th, resistance. We had some doji candles back on January of this year, which reversed the price downward, but we bounced. And so see what happens with these wedges. We came up, bounced and bounced up and off. So let's sort of show you the stochastic RSIs on this. So to coincide here, that's a 12-minute chart. Let's get to actually let's do a 4-hour chart for you guys here. And then we're going to be just about done. We don't want to drag this on too long. 4-hour chart. Come on, Internet. It's an amazing invention, incredible technology. So we're going to say, okay, let's jump into the technicals here for the relative strength index. And this looks really good. So we're coming up here, and we're going to say, okay, March 25th, we're probably going to be at the top of this 4-hour. Now, obviously, you see these things go up and meander down and pump. But we want to think once we kind of have this kind of we didn't quite make it to the top, we're going to shoot back up and hit that top of that 100 to 0 mark. We go 0 to 100, 0 to 100. If you look at the price action here, one second. If you look at the price action here, here's at the peak 100, dumps to 0, price goes down. Obviously it's following the price, but we kind of, it helps us as we're turning up here in the 4-hour stochastics. We're going to say that, okay, we are going to be going up more in price. However, and this is the kicker, this ascending narrowing wedge is a bearish pattern. To where we're here, we got rejected at the top, it can come back down here and here and here, but we're expecting this to dump according to that pattern. However, we did see that money flow on the daily chart. Therefore, we're expecting that we're going to be going up further in price. So, again, these stokes can really play with us in that regard. Now, this is zoomed in on the 1 minute. Let's look at the daily stochastic RSIs down here in the purple. We were at the peak, but we started coming down. But now we're turning back up. Let's turn back up. So that means we have a little bit more next few days of bullish action most likely to happen. If we go up to the weekly time frame, let's look at the stochastics here compared to the price action. Waiting. We're doing that old computer spin thing. Remember that when Mac computers would spin that rainbow thing? Very low stochastics on the weekly, and we are heading up. So as much as we are, that could be a temporary drawback out of that pattern that we saw. It could be temporary because we are heading up. Now, let's just say, for example, we kind of meander, but we make it all the way up to here. I mean, look, that's pushing out to August. Okay, last time we were doing this was last August. Right? It takes some time to get up there. We already hit the bottom here in the middle of January. Let's look at the price in the middle of January where it was. Come on, baby. I have to restart this puppy. Right here. As low as we had been since July of last year. This is the Aspen pump. I always say that because I was in Aspen when that thing pumped and I was out at dinner and we were going nuts. It was awesome. Yeah, so this was all last summer. Again, each candle's a week along of the price action. Very important on the macro scale, as you can see when you come back here. We are on the weekly chart. Each candle's a week. So you go here, October of 2020, started to lift off. We started this massive bull run. How much was this up? 400% to the top. 400% from October, end of October, November to April. 400% move. Down 50 across, up 30, down 15, up 40%, down 50%. Amazing. Mapped out some of these options. This looks like a ski map. This is the Aspen Ajax ski map trail, baby. Alright, this crypto profit, this was really fun, you guys. Let's get back just to the Dow Jones and then take a look here and say, On the daily, we do have a prediction, okay? We do have a prediction. However, the Pink Monday was maybe a little late. Those did work out in my predictions before, so I was able to capitalize on that. I did share that in an episode a little while back last year, but you know those things get overlooked and it's tough. But let's just map out here on the Dow. If we take this momentum waves, we're on an uptrend here. Now we do look like we're kind of peaking out, and these RSIs and moving averages are coming down. And the money flow's starting to head down, and again we have that wedge playing out, but it could be temporary because on the weekly overall we're looking very bullish. All right, this is the Crypto Profit. God bless you all, and we'll see you all tomorrow.